Let's go ahead and get started.
Fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Cotton. I'm the Community Resource Developer and Perkins Grant Coordinator for the Delaware County Technical High School. Joining me today are several people from the Delaware County Technical High School, including our director, Dr. Stephen Butz.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We greatly appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us to go over some of our technical offerings in our School of Construction. Thank you for joining us. We are recording this. We will also have additional opportunities if you have questions, answers at the end of this presentation for you to ask them. Also, we'll have additional opportunities for anybody to contact our staff or your district staff about questions you have about our career offerings in construction or any place else. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Next is Dr. Linda Lomas, Supervisor of Student Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We're very happy that you joined us this evening. As Ms. Cotton said, my name is Linda Lomas. I supervise student services, which includes the school counselors, special education, our academic integration teachers, and the co-op program. And I also oversee the admissions process.
Thank you so much. Our first principal is Mr. Chris Hanson from the Austin campus.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Hanson, principal at the Dcts Aston campus. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
And our second principal, Dr. Dan Palmer at the Fallcroft campus.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, welcome from the Fallcroft campus. Hopefully you find a lot of good information, and we hope to see you soon.
Perfect. Also with us are our 5 different teachers for building trades, carpentry, electrical construction technology, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and plumbing and welding. So first, before we get into the teachers and let them introduce ourselves, we would like to share with you about career and technical education with DCTS and its purpose and how it helps students better prepare their future education in different universities, in trade schools, in different college applications, and so much more. We are partnering with different employers every day to provide detailed knowledge and quality programs for your students to let them know what it's going to be like when they go on to a post-secondary institution or even just right into the workforce. Our students have a classroom component and a lab component, and it is a half-day high school where the students will come either in the morning or the afternoon, depending on their schedule at their sending high school. And we replace their elective credits. Our students, all of our programs are broken down into different career clusters. So the one that we're talking about today is the School of Construction Technology. And all of our teachers here today will be able to provide a little bit more insight on what types of career and technical education they're providing to your students, as well as different projects and further information. But before we get into each program, I'd like to share a quick video that demonstrates student work, as well as a brief introduction for each program. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Frank Concerto. I teach building trades at Fallcroft campus. This program teaches general construction skills and knowledge necessary to build a house. Practical
Is it not showing?
applications and experiences in classroom training prepares students to be enrolled in the building trades program for employment in general construction or property maintenance. Students are taught carpentry, masonry, plumbing, roofing, drywall applications, painting, framing, and finishing. Students learn basic safety in the use of hand tools and power tools and construction technology. Students explore floor systems, wall systems, ceiling joists, and roof joists. They also learn plumbing with copper tubing and fittings. The students learn about exterior finishes, basic stair layout, electrical safety, electrical residential work, and PVC for plumbing for drain waste and vents. They also have opportunity to provide the students with the NOCTI test, NOCTI, for their exams. They do a practical application and they also do a written test. They also take their OSHA 10 for safety.
The Carpentry Program, taught by Kyle O'Neill, provides students the opportunity to learn building layout, framing, roofing, window and door installation, and finish trim work. On-site projects include the use of hand and power tools to do building layout, flooring, framing and wall construction, roofing, and the application of exterior and interior finishes. Upon graduation, students can continue their education through local union apprenticeships, a variety of partnering college programs, or the Association of Builders and Contractors. Through this project-based program, students learn about hand and power tool safety, measuring, layout, basic blueprint reading, basic wood joints, and material sizing. Additionally, they learn basic trim methods, advanced framing methods, interior trim package installation, exterior roofing, window and door installation, blueprint reading, and estimation. Advancement in the program means students will be eligible to increase their knowledge on roof framing, building layout, advanced exterior finishes, advanced interior finishes, blueprint reading, deck construction, and advanced estimation. Students will also earn their OSHA 10 certification.
My name is John McGillen. I am the HVAC and plumbing instructor. HVAC and plumbing professionals are instrumental in ensuring that home and building function properly on a daily basis. The HVAC and plumbing technology program introduces students to the basic concepts of residential plumbing and commercial work. With an emphasis on safety, students work with copper, black pipe, electric, and full HVAC systems. Topics we cover include selecting and ordering materials, supplies, tools, codes, blueprint reading, and low voltage wiring. Students learn about safety, tools, residential work, blueprints, basic HVAC systems, basic plumbing skills. Students are also taught in compliance with the International Code Council, which is ICC Plumbing, Mechanical, Fuel Gas Code, and Cengage HVAC refrigeration book to meet the industry standards.
Hi, my name is Mcginnis, and I teach electrical construction technology. This program provides students with an introduction to the basic concepts of residential and commercial wiring, with an emphasis on safety. Students install circuits, switches, conductors, circuit breakers, and other electrical devices. Topics covered include selecting and ordering materials, key supplies and tools, codes, blueprint reading, and low voltage wiring. Students are taught in compliance with the National Electrical Code and the Residential Construction Academy, industrial standards. Students begin working toward their RCA and OSHA certifications immediately. When students first explore this program, they learn safety tools, residential wiring, blueprints, circuitry, devices, raceway, and bending, Ohm's law, and work to complete OSHA 10. As students continue in the program, they attain employability skills. Students gain more in-depth knowledge with respect to safety and tools, commercial wiring, review blueprints, devices, raceways, bending, panels, disconnects, and circuitry.
Hi, my name is Dustin Trumpler, and I teach welding technology. The welding industry can be extremely rewarding due to the fact that employers have a constant need for skilled welders. Welding is used in manufacturing, construction, and many other industries. In the welding technology program, students are taught oxy-fuel gas cutting principles and practices, arc cutting principles and practices, and welding inspection and testing principles. Welding technology students research careers in the welding field and learn how to weld in all positions. Further, they learn how to interpret blueprints and layout projects from cutting to tacking to completion of full projects. Students learn about precision cuts in steel plates using superheated gases and learn how steel is formed from a liquid to a solid. Students also gain hands-on training in a variety of welding procedures, including shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, flux core arc welding, and gas tungsten arc welding. In this program, students learn how to use the proper equipment for testing welds, destruction, and hardness testing. They gain experience in reading and understanding manuals and specification charts for the welding processes. The students learn how to use grinders and chemical baths for surface cleaning, proper clamping techniques, and welding standards established by the American Welding Society.
Fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed that video. Our first program that we're going to talk about and have all of the teachers that are involved talk about the program, different types of projects that they're currently working on, and anything else that they would like to contribute, and let everyone know about the program. Speaking on behalf of the instructor, Frank Consorto, we have Mr. Dan Palmer.
Hi, everyone. Thanks. I'll speak for Mr. Consorto. So currently in building trades, there is a multitude of skills that students work on. The main 3 or 4 they work on is plumbing. They're doing copper and PEX with conventional building. They go into rough framing for a period of time. After rough framing, they go from there to light electrical. So basic repairs with electric, running the lines through houses and so forth. And they finish with finishes. Tile work, stone work, brick work, some little bit of masonry, finishing drywall, and so forth. Students get a really broad-based learning and knowledge of construction from beginning to end, from obviously behind the walls to finishing it out. Mr. Consorto currently has students working on 3 projects simultaneously. He has groups of students working on rough framing right now. Right now, they're framing out one relatively small room. They're doing everything from the rough framing to running the electrical lines, running plumbing service, running the sanitation lines, putting in a ceiling fan. They'll eventually drywall out and finish the room out with the switches and so forth, with 2-way and 3-way switches. He also has groups currently finishing bathrooms. So they're basically doing a whole entire bathroom from beginning to end. Again, putting in all of the rough ins as far as electrical, plumbing, and then finishing there with obviously drywall, toilet, running sanitary lines. The sanitary lines do work. We do have running water to those faucets and so forth to make sure that they are all operational and working correctly. And then he has also students working on just some woodwork and carpentry projects within there, as far as doing some rough construction, such as rafters and joists, making sure everything is framed out properly and to code. Mr. Consorto goes over everything from beginning to end regarding what is current building code, making sure that all of their construction is done to code. A lot of safety is covered across the entire year, from operating saws, jigsaws, torches, along with he does a long stint of creating their own cast iron as well, as far as black iron piping and so forth. So it's a fantastic class. A lot of our students go into or get into Williamson or another trade school going forward. Some go right into the field. We have students that have gone on this past year, going right to work for Hvac Corporate as far as their construction company, going into Williamson Trade School, and had some really great success. I know students come back every year to speak to Mr. Consorto's classes on what they have done and where they're at currently working. A lot of them are in private construction, or they're going to go on to a 2 or 4 year school. So it's a fantastic program. Mr. Consorto is an old world Italian that teaches us that way. He runs a very tight ship. At the same time, the students love his classroom, and he teaches them a world of knowledge. So it's a fantastic class, and I can probably answer any questions if there's anything out there for the group.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Palmer. Our
Sure.
next program is Carpentry with our instructor, Kyle O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Kyle O'Neill. Currently, we are working on our shop. We are starting to construct 2 tiny houses. One will be about 14 by 16. It will be 1 story, and then our level 2 students who are returning seniors are constructing a house that is 2 stories tall in our shop. Our work varies from starting in the beginning of the year to working on concrete and foundational work, as well as site planning and elevations, to moving into blueprints, into actual rough carpentry. Then we move into finished carpentry, drywall, and exterior and interior finishes. Doors and windows play a large part of what we do, as well as some of the updated technologies you see in green technology and LEED construction. Ours is very primarily carpentry based, so we do finish out the year with practicing with built-ins or bench making, cabinet making, and as well as some of the higher end finishes that you see inside houses.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. O'Neill. Our next program is Electrical Construction Technology with our instructor, Mr. Harry Mcginnis.
Hi, my name's Harry Mcginnis. I'm the electrical teacher. The students in my class go through circuitry, learning how to install three-way switches, single pole switches, lights, and we also go through panels, services, and green technology.
Fantastic. Oh, go ahead.
I've got first years, second years, and third years. Third years primarily end up working on motor controls, which is what you had seen in the video. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Mcginnis. Our next program is Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, also known as HVAC and Plumbing, with our instructor, Mr. John McEwen. John, you're on mute.
Hello, my name is John McEwen. I'm the HVAC and plumbing instructor. Some of the projects we currently are working on right now are we're doing installs, full complete HVAC systems, so heating and air conditioning systems, typical residential systems to ductless systems. We also are working on plumbing systems where we tie into, we have active working systems. We have what we call our house, which is a two-story building in our shop. So the bottom floor, we have a lot of sink setups with drains that the guys are running. Upstairs, we have 2 full bathrooms set up that they're going to eventually work. We have fixtures in there. They'll be piping all that in. We also, for a lot of the first year guys right now are working on, they just finished electrical projects, learning the basics of electricity. They're working on small copper projects. They work on sheet metal projects. We try to make it as real life situations as I can. A lot of my students go directly into the workforce. 2 of the schools we work with are the PHCC Training Center, which is right down the street from our school in Aston, which means most of the guys there work during the day and go to school at night. I've also had students go to Thaddeus Stevens, which is in Lancaster, where they continue on and either go for a 2 or 3 year program there in plumbing or HVAC. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And our last program is Welding with our instructor, Mr. Dustin Trumboy.
Hi, so in the shop, all of our students completed OSHA. Level 1 students, they start off the program with safety, welding theory. So far they completed oxy-fuel torch cutting, plasma cutting. Now they're working on mostly stick welding in the booths. They're stick welding in multiple positions, flat, horizontal, vertical, overhead. Level 2 students, they started off with some drawing theory, welding symbols. We're doing simple sketches by hand. We're getting into some light AutoCAD work. In the shop, they've done some carbon arc gouging. They're working on flux core and stick welding for their AWS weld certifications. Some bigger projects we have going on. We're building a competition grill smoker. After they graduate the program, our students can expect to either go right to work in a local fab shop or welding unions, shipyard. Also, we're sending quite a few students to further education like Thaddeus Stevens or Penn College.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. To talk about our application process is Dr. Linda Lomas. And if you have any questions about our programs, again, please feel free to drop them in the chat and we will answer them towards the end of the presentation.
Okay, good evening again. So this is our application. Our application can be found in our course handbook or can also be found on our website. If you apply through our website, you would need to download the application save it as a document, then complete it and rename it. If you just fill it out from downloading it, it will not populate and you will have to do it again. I just like to give that little tip to everyone. We really like to have applications. Ideally, by the end of February. We are in application time now, and all of these programs in the construction technology field are highly popular. So the earlier you can get your application in, the better for that. The application includes demographic information. It's really important that you do put more than one choice on your application. It's because sometimes the programs do get over enrolled. So we'd like to see what other fields you may be interested in as well. So please at least try to fill in 3 choices. The other thing that has to happen with the application process is a coordination with the home school district counselor. So it's really important to keep in touch with your counselor, let them know that you are applying to DCTS. They will also provide us with supplemental materials such as your attendance, your report cards, your transcripts, and things like that. So it's important that you're in close contact with your school counselor. And we also will if you apply online, we will reach out to them to get the information from them as well. But we work with them very closely in making sure that all students that want to come to DCTS get the opportunity. Another part of our application process is if a student has an IEP, an IEP team meeting is required as part of the application process. So that would also be something that would be reached out through the student's case manager would reach out to me to coordinate that. And we do that every year and we work successfully with that. And the last part of the application process is the essay component. We want to see a sample of your writing, and we also want to see why you want to go in the program, what your goals are, and what your interests are as you move forward throughout your high school career and through your career pathways. So that's the application process. Please drop any questions that you have about it in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lomas. To talk about our school to career programs is Mr. Chris Hanson, the principal at the Austin campus.
Thank you, Rachel. So with school to career programs, obviously our goal, especially in programs in the skilled trade area, is to ensure that students are well prepared to have the entry-level skills needed for employment, but also to have the soft skills needed to be good employees for employers. That being said, a couple of things that I can tell parents and students right now, especially given the fact that we're in COVID, is these programs that we're previewing today, these are some of the most highly populated programs that we have at DCTS. So a lot of times they go to selection, which means that they're full. There's limited spaces, and so it really comes down to your performance, or it can come down to your performance at your sending district, your attendance, your grades, your discipline record. So I know in COVID, a lot of you folks out there, a lot of you kids are struggling a little bit with maybe getting your work in on time, or maybe putting your best foot forward. If you really want to come to DCS, I suggest that you use that as motivation, because it can be very competitive to get in these programs. That being said, the purpose of school to career programs is we want you to come here, get the necessary entry-level skill set through active participation in the program areas. And then from there, once you complete the program of study task grid, which is the baseline set of skills, we have opportunities for students who meet the minimum requirement to go out into the working world, potentially earning a paycheck instead of coming to school. So this would, for the most part, be only available to seniors that are showing that they're on a pathway to complete their full task list, that have good attendance, no discipline issues, and have good grades. And what we do is we work with local employers. Some of those employers are on our advisory committees. Some of those employers Just know the programs through the instructors, and they are so ready and willing to give students a chance to go out and experience the working world while earning a paycheck. The only requirement for the students in terms of schooling is they would have to return a DCTS 1 day every other week. Otherwise, again, if they meet the requirement, they can go out essentially in replacement of coming to DCTS. So it's a great opportunity to put your skills to the test. And I'm sure all of you can agree, you know, the best way to learn is by doing. So, you know, although I believe our labs and our teachers provide, you know, a wealth of knowledge and really will be prepared to give you the skill set you need to be confident when you go out in the working world. You know, training in a simulated world is no substitute for the real thing. So this is something that we really strive for.
Thank you so much, Chris. I also want to mention that all of the photos that you see here are students that have been out on cooperative education during the year. All of our programs have different opportunities for students to earn money at the same time that they're going to DCTS, which is another great hands-on experience. At DCTS, we also offer student organizations, Skills USA, FCCLA, HOSA, and the National Technical Honor Society. Unfortunately, we do not offer sports or other extracurriculars because we are a half-day high school. I do encourage students to continue to participate in sports and other extracurriculars at their sending high school throughout 9th through 10th, 12th grade because it is great on a resume. It definitely helps you to be well-rounded and to continue to gain more additional skills. You can participate in our student organizations as well as the student organizations as your school. So keep up with any sports or clubs or different activities at your sending high school. A couple of other college opportunities that DCTS has to offer is dual enrollment. We started a new partnership with Widener University this year. This is our current fall, winter, and spring course listing for the 2020-2021 school year, where all of our students have the possibility of earning general education courses through Widener. These are transferable credits, so they can take them with them to another school if they choose. And these are significantly reduced. For Widener University is $200 a class. So it is definitely very reduced compared to if you were a full-time undergraduate student, which could be around $3,000 for a class. So it's definitely a good start to get ahead on early college. Also seeing if college is a good fit for your student. The programs are completely online, so the students will be doing them with deadlines provided by the teacher and doing them at their own pace by following those deadlines as well. But it is a great opportunity that students can have with Widener University specific. They can actually earn up to 30 college credits by the time they graduate. So that's I actually graduated from a Penn State branch campus, and to be a full-time student, you had to take 12 credits. So for students at Widener, or for our students at Widener, earning almost 30 credits, that's at least a full year off. So students have the opportunity to graduate early, or they have the opportunity to maybe get another major, another minor, or any certifications that they can achieve at the school that they go to or at Widener University. Other college opportunities include Students Occupationally and Academically Ready, also known as SOAR. More information about this can be found at our website, but it is an agreement with different colleges across Pennsylvania, for instance, like Penn Tech College, Harrisburg Community College, and other technical or community colleges across the state of Pennsylvania. So at collegetransfer.net, you can find out more information about which schools that are available and how many credits. Your student can earn a minimum of 6 college credits, depending on the school and what they're offering as an equivalency. Additional college credit includes articulation agreements. So I put an example right here, but I want to talk about the logos that are on the screen as well. These are not all of the schools that we currently offer. We are always looking for new partnerships to advance in more post-secondary education and more college credit for your students to earn. The current college credit with the programs that we're talking about tonight, the schools that are included are St. Francis University, University of Northwestern Ohio, Philadelphia Suburban Training Center, Pennsylvania Institute of Technology, and Pittsburgh Technical College. So we're continuing to look for more partnerships for our students to be able to go on to post-secondary institutions. How this agreement works is I put an example for exercise therapy and sports science that we've been utilizing as a general baseline for how this process works. Students have to complete a certain amount of tasks on their task list, as well as complete their NOCTI exam. And for this program specific, they have to complete their CPR and AED and certified personal training. For other programs, they would require something different. But for Newman University, completing all of those things, they have the ability to go to Newman University and have those 3 classes at the bottom of the screen already on their college transcripts. So they're now 9 credits ahead of other classmates. And like I mentioned previously, now they can take additional classes. They could potentially graduate early, depending on how many classes that they take and what they're interested in. And it's less off of books, tuition, housing, everything that's involved in when you attend a post-secondary institution. And last but not least, of course, we have our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we are constantly showcasing the different skill sets and projects that our students are working on daily, as well as different competitions and just general skills that they're learning in their classrooms every day, whether it's in the classroom or the laboratory, and the things that we get to see our students do are outstanding. So definitely take a look at that. The handle is right there, Delco Tech HS. You can also find out more information on our website, dciu.org/DCTS. You can find our current course guide on the website that has very detailed information, pictures, and more opportunities for our students, as well as each program page that offers a slideshow and or video of the different programs as well. I know we have received a couple of questions. So we are going to start answering some of those. But before we get started, I also want to introduce one last person that I didn't get to introduce at the beginning, and that's Ms. Kristen Pellegrino, our counselor at the DCTS Fallcroft campus. If you'd like to say anything.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen Pellegrino. I'm the school counselor at the Fallcroft campus. There's also another counselor at our Aston campus. And basically our role is to help students while they're, at our school for half of the day, help students with any career or personal issues that they may be having. With regard to the programs that were mentioned tonight, there are a number of schools that Rachel has already mentioned, but there are a lot of different opportunities for students, as you saw, to get college credits. Students can meet with the other counselor and I anytime to discuss that, as well as a number of other things. And basically anything that they need, a lot of times we help them with some homeschool issues as well. Our department has special ed support. We have a math and English teacher as well. So when they're at our school for half of the day, they do not lose, a lot of the supports that they are currently getting at their home school. So that's important to know. We support students with IEPs, 504 plans, and any kind of other emotional or issues that they might be having in school. I noticed with some of the questions, I know some people were asking if it's too late to start, if it's worth it to come as a senior and things like that. So, what I think what I will say is that I think it's most important. There are certain programs where starting earlier, matters, but I do think that even if your son or daughter is able to confirm or deny whether or not this is the career they want, it's helpful for them so that you don't, before you spend money applying to a lot of the different colleges and schools, if you can find out that if this is something that they're interested in, I think that's always a win for everybody. Certainly, if they apply in their senior year, they're not always eligible for as many college credit opportunities, but for some people, that might not be necessarily, the most important thing. You may simply be wanting to know if this is the right career path for your son or daughter. So it is not too late to apply in your senior year. And also, I think there was a question, somebody asked about junior year. It's definitely not too late to apply junior year. The question about sports, I think Rachel kind of already answered, but Yes, we do make accommodations with regard to the session that your student will attend, even if they are unable to get into, the morning session. We always work with school districts and families if your son or daughter needs to leave for a game or something like that. So that's not a problem as well.
Thank you
Kristen,
so much.
just to piggyback on that, there was another question regarding what if a student changes their mind? And again, as Kristen stated, this is a great time as students are on a pathway towards adulthood. It's a great time to make mistakes. It's a safe time to make mistakes or to change their mind. The only caveat to that would be, definitely we want students to jump into a course and figure out if it's for them or if it's not. And if a program is not, we definitely encourage them to seek out a different program. But the only caveat would be if there's room in that program. So it depends on the enrollment in the program. Through the application process, we ask students to pick a first, second, and third choice. So we would always refer to that to determine what a second or third choice might be. But again, it just depends on the availability of seating in a course. Hope that answers that question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hanson. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A or in the chat. Right now, we currently don't have any questions, but I do have a question for all of the teachers. Why should students consider your program for DCTS? This is open to any of the teachers.
I'll jump in, Rachel. One of the pluses for our trade for plumbing and HVAC is during this COVID times, our field has been working. So there's been no shutdown for guys in my field. So from that standpoint, it's a rewarding trade. You can get to work with your hands. You're at different places, different times of the year. You're always doing something different in my trade. And again, it's a rewarding trade to finish something by the end of the day or by the end of the week versus doing nothing at all, I guess.
I can piggyback off of what Mr. McEwen said, and without electricity, HVAC equipment does not work. Neither do welders or the tools that most of the carpenters use.
I would just have to say, learning a skill and a trade right now is invaluable because there's, not everybody can go to college, and some people that do go to college rack up a lot of debt going to college. So going into a skill trade right away gives you the opportunity to make money at a pretty high level. So it's just a different avenue for success.
Anyone else want to add to that? Fantastic. We do have a question. How many applicants do you normally receive? Are there many students who did not get accepted? Dr. Linda Lomas, would you be able to help us with that question?
For these programs, we receive more applicants than we have seats in the programs. Yes, so we do receive over the amount of applications than we do have seats in the programs for every single one of these programs. So I see there's a couple questions in the chat that are kind of related to that. So someone asked, is there a deadline for the application? In order to, I apologize, my dog was barking. In order to be in kind of the running for first priority, we would really want to see the application by the end of February. That would be really important for us. The school districts have all been informed of that as well. So there should be communication coming out from counselors regarding that, and they should be requesting applications from the students. Another question that's in here is what happens if someone changes their mind of what they want to take instead of something in the construction course? And what years do we attend for any of the courses at DCTS? So I'm going to answer the second question first. Our programs are designed and identified as three-year programs. So we like to see students start in 10th grade for the programs. However, students can complete the program if they start as a junior. So, but ideally we'd like to see students come as in 10th grade. If that's not possible, you certainly can complete the program in 11th and 12th grade and be eligible for the post-secondary credits and to take the NOCD exam. With COVID, are the classes in person? Yes, we are currently in person and ensuring that we are following our health and safety plan. Students are masked, students and staff are masked with social distancing. We do have the space to do that because all of our programs have both a classroom and a lab. So we have the luxury of being able to spread them out. And we, as long as we are able to, we will continue to be in person. We understand that students in career and technical schools need those hands-on skills to be able to complete the program. I think I answered this already. Is enrollment typically at 100%? Yes, for the construction programs, definitely it is. Is it more difficult to secure a seat in one of these programs as a senior versus a sophomore or junior? So as much as we want students to come in sophomore or junior year, no, we do have students that come in senior year and are accepted into the program.
Great question. Another question for Dr. Lomas. Is there anything specific that you look for in students who apply for the course?
Yes, we look at student attendance, we look at student grades, we look at student discipline records. I would say all of those are very important. Attendance is absolutely critical because a lot of our programs rely on the ability for you to gain those skills, and you cannot gain those skills if you are not in attendance with us. In addition, you are graded on 3 different areas: your knowledge, your skill grade, and a work ethic grade, and your attendance goes into that grade. So if you have poor attendance and unexcused absences, your grade is going to be affected by that, because 20% of your grade is your work ethic grade, which are those employability skills that are going to make you a good employee.
Fantastic. And the last question that we have at this moment is, how does it work in the classroom if someone started in their sophomore year, then you have someone coming in the junior year?
So I can take this question, but the teachers differentiate the instruction, and they have students with all 3 years, and all 3 levels of students are working on different aspects of their curriculum. I don't know if any of the teachers want to or the principals want to kind of chime in on that one.
I can jump in, just seeing it across the board. A lot of teachers will break up topics each year and teach that topic to the entire class. So for example, just from Mr. Consorto, he teaches plumbing for the first couple of months of the year with PEX, CPVC, and copper. He'll teach them for 2 months or a month, going through all the skills and all the showings for all sophomores and juniors, and they continue on by topic. And he keeps recycling the topics each year. It rotates. So he'll do a couple of topics this year, and then do a couple of topics next year, and keep rotating. And as time goes on, he differentiates with the students, as Dr. Lomas said, with projects and things of that nature. So they differentiate, and by the time they're a senior year, they're trying to push students out on co-op to really get that job experience. They can usually get a paid co-op experience. And just the one thing to add is that our students are in very high demand with co-op experiences. To be quite frank, as an employer, our students are cheap labor, they work hard, and they're willing to learn. So I feel like it's a benefit as a senior going out onto co-op and going out to a cooperative learning site. So sophomore and junior year, they're really working hard to get those skills together, and the teachers differentiate and teach topics year to year. And by senior, hopefully they're going out on co-op again.
Great, thank you, Dr. Palmer. I realized that I missed one part of the one question. If someone changes their mind about the program, if you come into our program and you change your mind about the program that you want, and you want to look at a different DCTS program, you just need to go to the school counselor at DCTS, either Mrs. Pellegrino at Fallcroft or Dr. Rouse at at Aston, and we can look at, they'll talk to you and talk about your interests and what you might like to do. But we do have students that do change their mind and change programs.
There's also some questions with regard to grades and acceptance. So I just want to mention, Dr. Lomas said, a lot of these programs that we're talking about tonight are pretty popular and at times can be difficult to get in. But I want to make sure everybody out there, who's watching tonight, don't not apply because you're concerned about your grades, because on any given year, you never know. There might be a year that a teacher has a lot of seniors that are graduating and there's more spaces available. And I've worked here for 20 some years, and I can tell you that there have been students that, we've accepted who didn't always do very well. And then they were stars at our school. They did wonderful. They found something that they had a passion in, and that a lot of times helped them to do better even at their home school because they were now motivated. So we do look for students obviously to be doing well, have good attendance and good discipline, but if you're lacking in one of those areas, don't not apply, because it is a possibility that you would, if you don't get in your first choice, you would get in your second choice.
I would say the only caveat to that would be that what we usually look for is if a student wasn't doing well the year prior, we look at the end of the year on the right foot in terms of presenting that, they're moving towards being more responsible, being more successful. So again, if you fall into that category and you think, wow, I haven't really been applying myself that well, now's the time to do it, because again, you're young, you're learning, you have time to turn it around. So if between now and April and May, when we're going through these applications, you show a great improvement, that's something that's definitely taken into consideration in terms of your ability to be selected for a program. A couple other questions here that I see. Is it possible to complete requirements of the 3 years in 1 year? It is competency-based instruction. I'm not going to say whether it is or it isn't. I think it really varies on programs. I think you would have to be really, really motivated and focused to attempt to complete the program of study in 1 year. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that would definitely have to be a goal that you set with your instructor to start, and that would definitely require you to be doing some extra legwork outside of school for that to be a potential outcome. Yes, as a freshman, if you're a freshman this year, this is the time to apply, because you could come to us as a sophomore. So if you're a freshman now, this is the time that you want to apply. Do you get to pick which building you go to? No. It really depends on the program. We have some programs that are mirrored at both campuses. With the programs that we're reviewing tonight, none of them mirror. I mean, the closest would be between construction trades and carpentry. But for the most part, the programs are campus specific. And are all these programs offered at both campuses? No, they're not. Again, for the most part, with the exception of culinary arts and cosmetology, and medical careers, those would be the only ones that are offered at both campuses.
One thing I can add real quick about the GPA to elaborate is that you must be in good academic standing, and coming from a setting of school that if your credits, you don't have enough credits to be a sophomore or a junior, that's going to inhibit your ability to come to us as a sophomore, junior, and senior. So in short, you must have enough credits and be on track to graduate.
And I think I'll jump, there's another question in there, Dr. Palmer. My son is a freshman who has been a good student historically, but is struggling with online learning this year. Will there be any leniency with grades as a result of COVID-19? Yeah, we definitely understand that it has been very difficult with students with COVID-19. And we do take that into consideration, but as Dr. Palmer said, they do need to have the credits that they need for graduation. The required credits are, the districts are going to be looking at those before they look at the elective credits with us. But on our end, yes, we definitely understand that and take it into consideration.
Fantastic. I want to thank all of our teachers and all of our DCTS staff for joining us tonight and everyone who is in attendance. I want to again repeat that this recording will be posted on our DCIU/DCTS webpage where you can review it. Please feel free to reach out to any DCTS staff member or teacher about any questions that you might have about the program or any information that you might need. And definitely reach out to your sending school counselors. They also have a lot of information on how to apply and how to fit in with your sending school schedule and so much more. Before we end this conversation, does any person from DCTS have anything else that they would like to add?
I just want to say thank you to all of our teachers, all the students, all the parents who participated in this, asked some very good questions, and the teachers for your participation and sharing what your program is all about. We greatly appreciate it. It is an interesting application process for us. I can guarantee in my time in tech schools, this will be the most interesting. And that's going back a number of years. But if you have questions, by all means, reach out to us. Talk to your sending counselors. Talk to the school counselors at your at the sending districts. Give us a call up, email us, and we can engage you and have some conversation about what could work for you. As was mentioned, all of our construction areas fill up and are at or near capacity every year. So we definitely urge you to apply early in our process and to speak with the your sending district about their process to make sure that your application gets complete. Visit our website so you can get additional information. We will be updating our information on our website over the next couple of weeks, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much. And unless somebody else has something to say, we will conclude this open house video webinar with my statement. Thank you.